What is up, everyone? This is the Hot Seat Podcast brought to you by Playbook Sports again. My name is Wilson. To the left, I got my boy Anthony. And today, we got another banger for you guys. Two other breakout players to talk about. If you watched from my last video, I talked about two. If you didn't like that, you're going to have to watch this video now. Anthony, what you got to say?
Bro, I have to say, I'm going to have you intro every You're going to intro, ball. Joseph's coming soon. You're going to intro the dugout today. My brother.
Sir.
You said, what is up?
What
You're
is
going
up?
full YouTube, bro.
What is up?
Nah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow for more Wilson Wang intros, more bangers. You already know what we're doing, man. I got my two breakout players. But first, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, find us on TikTok.
Find us on
Playbook
everything.
Sports, HQ, everything. Yeah, I got two players for y'all. My breakout players. My first one I got. Who do I want to start with? I'm gonna start with your boy, I guess. I feel like he's your boy, Bryce Young. Okay, I think Bryce Young is due to have like a real breakout last year. Number one pick last year, had a really down year. Only threw for like 2,800 yards, I believe. Now, Underdog has him projected to go for 3,300 yards, 18 and a half touchdowns. I think he slaughters this.
Bro, only 500 yards more. Of course.
I think
course.
he could throw for 35-4.
Yeah.
35 to 4K. I'm being serious. I think Baker threw for almost like 45 last year.
Okay.
He's still a number one pick, and again, like you guys know, I might have been a little bit of a hater last year because of CJ Stroud, but he's still most people had in their mind that Bryce Young was going to be better than CJ. So he still has that talent to be better than CJ. I know he's definitely not stopping working in the offseason, so we're not going to see the same Bryce Young from last year. I think he definitely should develop, and his team developed as well, adding Xavier Legette, adding Deontay Johnson, adding Jonathan Brooks, who might miss a little bit of the season, but like having those three names, like that definitely should be enough to kind of have him pop off, have him break out. And I feel like every year, like when a main guy has a down first year, they always bounce back like the second year. I feel like we saw it with like T-Law. I might be tripping, but I think Joe Burrow did it too.
Yeah.
It just happens. Josh Allen, I feel like, is another dude. Lamar was coming off the bench. Like, there's so many like factors that kind of go into it, and I think Bryce Young just due for a big year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just all about, like, adjusting to the system. Obviously, coming from college to pro is a really big transition for some of these guys. So I really think Bryce Young, after a full year of just being in the NFL, he's learned a lot. And as a guy that's been taken number one overall, obviously he's going to take that and learn from it. So I really, I ride for your take, man. You already know it. So that's my boy.
And, last year, Thielen was his number one guy, right? Mm-hmm. And Thielen is like a cool receiver to have on your team. But now you like add Legette, Deontay, John Brooks, and you still keep like Adam Thielen and Jonathan Mingo, which are like his guys. Terrence Marshall, your guy. So there's like a lot of extra dudes, extra factors to like not necessarily like add a Devontae Adams and then you're guaranteed like another 1,000 yards. But you kind of just like slowly creep, fucking Legette might get another like 400, 500 yards. Add that on there.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson, he's going to get another 6, 7. Add that on there. John Brooks might catch a couple balls or open up the offense a little bit. So they lost Hayden Hurst, which definitely hurts their tight end room. But yeah.
But they also drafted a tight end too, so it's like they also have Tommy Tremble, which is kind of all right. So that's, like you said, it's a lot more improvement when it comes to Bryce Young. I think their offensive line is a lot better too. They brought in a couple of guys, and it's funny because I was looking at their running back room. They actually have like 4 solid running backs.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks, Miles Sanders, and Rashad Penny.
That's a good rotation. You don't have a guy, but you have like Chuba, keep your legs fresh. Miles, keep your legs fresh. And then whenever Jonathan Brooks is ready to go, that's going to be the guy for them. That's going to be like their Jonathan Brooks or Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to be a dog for them whenever he's ready to go. I wouldn't expect like a max level Jonathan Brooks this season.
Yeah.
But next season for sure, I think he could ball out. And then another, like my last kind of key factor for Bryce Young to have a breakout, that division is so fucking weak, bro. They're weak defensively. I think probably the Falcons had the best defense, or the Bucks, but I feel like they're kind of like average at best defenses. So I think Bryce will definitely sling it against them. And then their schedule is also weak. They have one like rough stretch between week 12 and week 16 where they play the Bucks, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, all back to back to back to back. But other than that, like they're playing against teams like the Bears, where Bryce Young should like shoot out against them. Playing against teams like the Saints, where I feel like the Panthers definitely should win games like that next season. They don't have an excuse next season. And Bryce Young, like again, was the number 1 pick. You know, so he's gonna go out and ball, I think.
Yeah, man. It sucks because you look at like the past few years with Carolina. When they drafted Terrace Marshall, everyone was like, "Oh, Terrace Marshall's the next one." He kind of didn't really do anything. They drafted Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo's the next one. He didn't really do anything. So I'm really hoping for Xavier Legette. I really think, I think what they say, the third time's a charm, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping for his takeoff in the Carolina. But yeah, I'm really happy for Bryce Young. I think he's gonna do great.
I'm not too in love with Legette either. I wasn't too in love with Mingo. I wasn't really covering like the draft for Terrace Marshall, but I think just having like another like dude in there helps. You know,
definitely.
Like even if it doesn't help necessarily Legette having a breakout year, but maybe having a dude to keep like Mingo's legs a little fresher, maybe he balls out, or Terrace Marshall finally like does what he's supposed to do. You know, he could be a breakout next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could go into my next guy now. If you're cool with that, unless you had anything else to say about your GOAT.
No, I'm not cool. Let's see what you got.
Christian fucking Watson is due to break out.
Sheesh.
Dude, Christian Watson is the Kyle Pitts of wide receivers. I feel like every year I expect him to break out. Last year, in fantasy football, me and Christian traded where he drafted Travis Etienne on accident, and he wanted Christian Watson, and I told him, like, oh, I'll draft Christian Watson, we could trade, and that's exactly what we did. Looking back on that, like, that is insane that Christian Watson is valued on the same level as, like, arguably, like, a top 5 running back in football. So, but he's still only 25, you know? And
So that's time.
as a dude, like, 6'4", 210, only 25, hurt all last year. Like, when he's healthy, bro, they still look at him as the number 1 guy. You saw in the playoffs against the Cowboys, like, he didn't ball out or nothing, but it still seemed like they were trying to, like, look his way, or even, like, they forced him kind of to be in that game just because he's a threat, you know? And he definitely wasn't healthy. He was probably 40%, but he was there, and he was hurt all last year. He only played 9 games. In his last 3 healthy games of the regular season, however, he caught 4 touchdowns. So I feel like he's due to ball out.
Yeah, I think Green Bay is really trying to treat him as that he's the guy. I think it just depends if he's going to stay healthy, honestly.
Yeah.
That's just really just the thing with him. I think they want to utilize him. It's just that this receiver room is just – it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You got Dobbs, you got Reed, you got Wicks, you got Melton. And you also have Luke Musgrave, which is not bad either.
Just a lot of dudes that are, I feel like, on the same level, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like one of them has to kind of, like, outswim the others. And I think Christian Watts could be Michael Phelps.
I definitely think out of these, like, 6 guys, like, he's definitely the one.
Hey, you sound like the Bachelorette.
For sure. And then they also added Josh Jacobs too, so obviously, that's an upgrade at running back. A little bit younger too. And Jordan Love's gonna get better too.
Definitely.
Another year with into the system. So I'm really excited for Christian Watson. I'll be looking to draft him.
Yeah, so, you're going to steal him from me?
Yeah.
I like Josh Jacobs a lot, too, for Christian Watson, because Josh Jacobs is more of a running back, and Aaron Jones, like, they threw him the ball a lot. You know, now those targets will probably go to players like Watson, like Musgrave probably, who's going to be more of their dump-off guy.
Yeah.
I just really like him in his rookie year. He had 600 yards. Last year, he had 409 games. Next year, I could see him cracking 850.
850?
Is that crazy to say? 850 to 1,000?
What did he have last season?
409 games.
9 games.
But he was hurt, I feel like, most of those games, too.
I'd slam that probably. Yeah.
Underdog has him at 750.5 yards, 5.5 touchdowns. I might take that touchdowns, too.
I'll take the yards.
Yeah.
I'll take the yards. Maybe touchdowns too. It really just depends because it's like a lot of these guys, they could catch touchdowns too.
Yeah.
You know, they can steal the touchdowns.
Steal. I feel like this Packers team though is gonna be electric. Like 28
Yeah.
points per game, 35 points per game. Like Watson's gonna have to get 5.5. I think they could be the number one offense next year. Is that crazy to say?
Number one offense.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Okay, let me take a step back. Actually,
Jeez, bro.
Texans number one,
Yeah. I was gonna say your boys.
Ravens number two, with
Okay.
Derrick Henry having a real running back now.
Yeah.
Eagles number three,
Mm-hmm.
Packers number four. Go Pack, go baby, cheesehead.
That could be debatable.
Right?
Yeah.
Who am I? Bengals maybe. Oh, that's Peyton Manning. Bengals.
Maybe Bengals.
But nah, I really trust it. I really trust Christian Watson. And if they're going to be the number one offense next year, like why would you not want their wide receiver one on?
What about the Dolphins?
They have a lot going on too. Maybe I just don't trust Tua, bro. I think Jordan Love's better than Tua.
Jordan Love's better than Tua.
And
That's like a coin flip for me.
Tua's your guy,
Yeah.
but no, I like the Colts. I think with Anthony Richardson there,
I do like the Colts.
the Colts could have a really good offense. The Cowboys maybe because I feel like they always have a good offense until it's the playoffs.
Lions.
Lions are number one actually.
Okay.
You know,
Number
look
one?
at yeah, bro. That like Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, like you can't go wrong with that. But Niners maybe two, but Niners are gonna lose Ayuk. Still, like having a top, even let's say worst case they're like the 10th best offense. You want the wide receiver one on that team.
Yeah.
You know, so having Jordan Love and Christian Watson there, I think that's a duo you want. You want to eat up.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this: if I had Christian Watson and you had Travis Etienne again, would you trade that again? Would you do that trade for next year?
I would keep Travis Etienne.
You keep him?
I would
Okay.
keep Travis Etienne just because, like, again, what I'm saying is like he could go for 850 and maybe 6 touchdowns, but I would rather have the running back one. Running backs are so much more valuable in fantasy, especially on
Absolutely.
the Jaguars, who kind of lost a lot of their veteran guys
Yeah.
in the wide receiver room, unless they really believe in Tank Bigsby, and that could be another breakout guy for next year. But I don't really believe in Tank as much. I would rock out with Travis.
You don't rock with the tank.
I don't rock with the Tank. I don't rock with the Tank now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but let us know what you guys think about my breakout candidates. If you haven't already watched Wilson's breakout candidates, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow. Will.
Run the play, baby.